I saw a little teaser, sizzly something that they put together, and the John Williams score, and it was just like.
Jonathan Bailey talks Jurassic World Rebirth in an all-new interview, and some of his comments have led many to speculate that the very first teaser trailer could be on the way, potentially as soon as this November. The actor shared some great things about the movie, so let's get into the details. Welcome back to Jurassic Outpost. Let's examine JB's comments and see if a November teaser trailer really could be on the way.
Unidentified aircraft approaching Isla Sorna. This is San Juan approach. You're flying in restricted airspace. Immediately turn to coordinates 2.
Actor Jonathan Bailey can't avoid the questions about his most exciting upcoming project. Sure, we are a little biased here at Jurassic Outpost, but in a new interview with Josh Horowitz, the actor talks some of his work, Fellow Travelers, Bridgerton, the upcoming Wicked, and of course, Jurassic Park 7. Before we get into what he said in this new interview, we covered previous interviews with himself and Scarlett Johansson in our last video, where both had nothing but positive things to say about the David Koepp screenplay and the movie itself. Actors always hype up the projects they're a part of, unless it's Madam Web, but the excitement is hard to ignore here, as you'll see when Jonathan Bailey is asked about Jurassic World Rebirth.
Speaking of being in awe, we're going to be in awe of some dinosaurs and you and Scarlett before too long. Jurassic. Yeah. I'm hearing Jurassic World Rebirth. Is that what we're calling it? What do they call it on set? This movie you're in.
I can't hear you. It's kind of
okay. Fair enough. Okay, let me ask a more general question because I know a lot of.
We call it. What do we call it? We just call it sort of. It's now or never, guys. It's not like it's so brilliant. Obviously, it's it's an amazing. The Jurassic Park for me. I remember that viscerally and. To be a part of that franchise and that world, and with Frank Marshall on set and Spielberg, on the end of a FaceTime. And Gareth Edwards, I think, is just a knockout visionary director, and he's shooting it on film. David Koepp is the original writer, and it feels, I think we're all just, just can't quite believe it.
So there is a lot there to go over, but one of the first things is his avoidance to either confirming or denying the title Jurassic World Rebirth. He wouldn't be able to say either way, but based on what we know so far, that is the current title. His avoidance to that question, what do you think about that? Going on, the actor shares how excited it's been to be a part of a project with legends like Frank Marshall, Steven Spielberg, and I think that's such an interesting point. We've got Spielberg on FaceTime with the actors, or on the set perhaps, whatever it is. Steven Spielberg has been involved in all of the Jurassic movies. He was obviously the director of the first two, serving as the executive producer from Jurassic Park 3 onwards, but we know he shared slightly less involvement during the production of Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. It sounds like Spielberg might be more involved this time around, maybe ensuring things stay on track, but I do have a feeling that he and David Koepp concocted this story, so he's probably very excited about seeing it all come together. It's clear there is just so much excitement all around about whatever this idea actually is.
With Frank Marshall on set and Spielberg, on the end of a FaceTime. And Gareth Edwards, I think, is just a knockout visionary director, and he's shooting it on film. David Koepp is the original writer. And it feels, I think we're all just, just can't quite believe it.
I've shared my equal excitement before that this movie is going back to shooting on film, and it's great to hear Jonathan Bailey share this information as well, that Jurassic Park 7, Jurassic World 4, whatever you want to call it, is being shot on film. That is a big deal. But it is what he says next that you will really want to listen to.
I saw a little teaser, sizzly something that they put together, and the John Williams score, and it was just like, goosebumps.
Yeah,
so much goosebumps that I ended up looking like little but yeah, it's great, and it's just to do that with Scarlett as well, and again Mahershala is just amazing. It's a really it's a different way of telling the story, and I think I'm excited to see how it comes together.
Now, for those who don't know, sizzle reels are short promotional trailers or sequences cut together from a movie that are often used during the pitch or development phase of a film to showcase an idea, to help sell an idea, but they're often used during production as well to compile some of the actual footage and sequences from the in-production movie. Internally, Universal, Amblin, the filmmakers, will showcase this type of sizzle reel to shareholders and studio executives, and clearly in Rebirth's case, to the actors too. He mentions how they saw a teaser, a sizzly, he says, likely realizing he can't say much and can't get very specific here. They put the John Williams music on it and it blew them all away.
Are you in full dashing hero mode in this one? Are you you and Scarlett are the co-leads, as I understand it? Is there a romantic entanglement? Can you tease a little bit of what the character is?
I don't think I can. But can I? I'm blushing already. But no, I think it's a little there'll be lots of little flavors, lots of the above, and some extra stuff.
Are you? Last question on this: are you screaming "Get away from that T-Rex" in your British accent or an American?
Well, no,
accent?
I tell you one thing. Oh, okay, I can't. It might be. This is dangerous territory for me. It's
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like talking to you now is more dangerous than looking at a tennis ball going. I feel like I no. Suddenly, like you know the girl in the original Jurassic,
Right, the Jello.
jelly. That's me now.
Wait, are you that girl grown up? There's the spoiler.
I'm not saying anything.
The interviewer asks more questions about the movie, asking about his character, about what he's doing with Scarlett Johansson, but it's clear that he can't go into any specifics for very obvious reasons. But anyway, that was a great interview, and I think the sizzle reel comment is what's getting to me. A teaser, a sizzle. So far, there's not been a shred of marketing for this movie. July 2nd, 2025, less than a year until release, and we know nothing. And that's great. That really is how it should be, don't get me wrong. But based on recent marketing timelines that Universal used for Dominion and other projects, Jonathan's comments could be the first suggestion that an actual teaser trailer is on the way, and based on those timelines, might be hitting this November. Now, before we get too excited, let's break down the timeline to see what this might mean. We got our first tease of Dominion, or, the prologue for Dominion in June of 2021 with Fast and Furious. Then we got the full prologue, the first real tease of Dominion in November 2021. And then the first full trailer for that film came out February 10th, 2021, just before the Super Bowl. What comes out in November of this year? Wicked, a Universal picture that stars Jonathan Bailey. Could that sizzly or some kind of teaser trailer be being put together to hit theater screens ahead of Wicked? Whatever they've shown internally was enough to excite Jonathan Bailey, so I think the release of Wicked in November definitely poses itself as a potential opportunity for Universal to showcase a very brief glimpse of Jurassic World Rebirth, and I kind of hope they do. I hope they tease something really, really subtle for the movie, but give us that very first glimpse just before the year ends. Either way, also judging from past marketing, the Super Bowl in 2025 is probably a good bet for the first full trailer for this movie. Whether it will be at the Super Bowl or just around that same time like the Dominion one was, remains to be seen. His other comments about the John Williams music. The first thing that they do with a teaser or a sizzle reel for Jurassic would be throw down a moment from the perfect John Williams score, right? It's just logical to put something that's already been composed down onto new footage. But I have a growing inkling, I have a growing thought that the master himself might actually make a return for this movie. Other stars are lining for it. It certainly seems like they are, right? And it really isn't that far-fetched to think it might happen. The 92-year-old composer is still composing. He scored Spielberg's 2022 movie The Fabelmans and even scored the latest Indiana Jones sequel just last year. Does the master himself, does John Williams, have one more Jurassic Park in him? I certainly would welcome that. There is a lot to think about here. It's clear from this interview just how excited Jonathan Bailey is about this project. Sure, working with Spielberg and all of these Hollywood legends is going to be an incredible experience for any actor, for anybody involved in that project, but there's something about this one that feels different. They're brewing something big over there, and I, for one, despite really just wanting to know what it is, I'm glad that we currently know next to nothing. Will they keep it that way? Will they be able to keep it that way? Or will we get our first look at Jurassic World Rebirth this November? What do you think? Thank you, as always, for watching this video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed and comment your thoughts down below.